Well, first of all, I am super excited to have you here. It took a minute, but I'm I'm so honored, first of all. I feel that you are just such a you're just like a force to be reckoned with. And so, first of all, I want to thank you for being here, Marie. Now, I have to give you your flowers before we start.
You're too
So,
kind.
no, I do my homework. You'll see.
Thank you. Oh
So,
gosh.
oh yeah. So I want to share with our community that before I give you her name, this beautiful being right here, today's guest was named one of Hollywood Reporter's most powerful women in international television. She was twice recognized by the International Academy of the Arts and Sciences with Emmy nominations. The dynamic Latina was honored by Imagen Foundation as one of 2024's influential Latinas, and her name is listed among Hola's 100 Latina Powerhouses. So it is an honor. Marie Leguizamo has over 2 decades of experience producing unscripted TV, delivering record-breaking ratings with series like LOL, that's one laughing, and Jalas o Te Rajas. I love that.
Exacto. ¿Jalas o te rajas?
Rajas. And the, of course, other popular show, La Voz. Today, she is the managing director of, is it Banijay?
Banijay, yeah.
Banijay Mexico and U.S. Hispanic, a division of Banijay America, which is the home to some of the biggest brands in television in the U.S. and Latin America. And by the way, I have to tell you that Marie is not only an empowered Latina, she is a champion for women in the industry. And that really did get to me. Marie, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Like,
Oh my gosh. I mean, when you put it out like that, I'm like, wait, what? Okay, first of all, you say 2 decades, girl, you're starting to make me seem old. Okay, so let's
uh,
back up.
probably about the same age, no?
Uh, I mean, it's crazy. I don't often, hear all those accolades back to back. So when I do hear them, it's really humbling, and I'm always so incredibly grateful because I don't get these titles and those things don't happen without the people that I'm surrounded by, but without the support system that I have, not only my colleagues, my friends, my family, my husband, all of it. So I'm a very lucky lady, but I did work hard. So I'm going to also take that accolade as well. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much, and I'm really honored to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for really, you're a busy boss. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to start the conversation by giving you your flowers, but I also want everyone to get a little background on a girl, Marie.
Yes.
I have to say it. I have to say it. So, one of the things that's important, I think, is to acknowledge where you came from as you move forward. You are originally from the Bronx.
Yes, I am, girl. I
Ah,
was born in the Bronx.
I love it.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got because I was. My mom had me in the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx. I grew up in Long Island, so we left from the Bronx. I moved to Long Island when I was about 8 or 9. So my formative years did come from when I was living in Long Island. But hey, you know what? I go to Yankee
But
Pizza on Westchester Avenue off of the 2 train, and I still go back there.
but
And I
you
don't.
still have that energy, you know
Oh,
that.
for sure. Oh, I'm
I
never
love
gonna lose
it.
that. My
I
family's
love
my
that.
family still lives in the Bronx, so I still get a fix of going to like the little Italy part
Ah.
and
So when you come back, we have to definitely meet in person. I would
I
love
mean it's
that.
happening. It's happening. It's gonna happen. I'll put it in my agenda right now.
Yes. So you wanted, I do my homework. So I heard that you wanted to work originally in front of the camera, and then you ended up finding your passion behind it. What was the turning point when you realized this is what I'm supposed to do? Because I know for me, it came later in life. So
Yeah.
when did that happen for you?
Well, I had studied music and performance and all that. I had that bug. I mean, it's in my DNA. I've had that bug for quite some time, and I took singing lessons and I started performing, and I did a lot in the classical music, musical theater world. The problem was that I went in for a surgery to get my tonsils taken out and my lung collapsed. And I was in the hospital for 3 months. And I was like, well, if something like this were to happen to me, where would my career go? Like, would I be able to continue to perform? Would I be able to continue to sing? So I had that bit of a reality check in my early 20s. And I was always so curious about how things were because I was fortunate enough to be on sets at an early age and really be like, well, what he's doing, what's he doing? And I was that annoying little sister of like, and what is he doing? It's like, shush, 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 shush. Like, mind your business. And I'm like, but I want to know. So I always had a curiosity of what it was to be behind the camera. And I always had a passion for music. So when MTV Tres was formed, where it was my first job in production, it felt like the right move for me at the time, where it was, okay, I love music. I like producing. I don't know what I'd like yet. Let me figure this out. And let me also have a backup plan in case, performing doesn't come through because it's scary when you lose your ability to do your craft for 3 months. And it was more than 3 months because coming back from that after singing every single day, it took me like 6 to 9 months to fully recover. So I think it was a wake up call and I think it was my destiny. I do still have the bug. So if anybody's looking for a really like sweet Latina, like about 5'1", blonde-ish,
No way, I'm five.
yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
blonde with kind of darker roots, not a natural one, but the wing.
Never too late. It's never too late.
Never too late. Exactly.
So you ended up building this successful career as a showrunner. So I read you were a showrunner and an executive, not an executive producer. And we always hear these fancy titles, right? These professionals, these labels, because
Yeah.
that's what they are. But we don't hear enough about the professionals such as yourself who do the work you do. Can you just give us, and I know, but can you just give us uh in layman's terms the definition of an executive producer? What do they do? Because it's a big job and I don't think people realize, no, it's not just you slapping your name on the thing. It's a lot more.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have that title, honestly, because being an executive producer, you're part of the decision-making process. And oftentimes we are either executing the idea or have brought that idea from paper to life. So being an executive producer, I have the opportunity, and I'm fortunate at Banijay Mexico and US Hispanic that I am the EP of all of our programs because that's part of what feeds me. I do have my corporate side of my job, but I do also have my creative side, and that's a part that feeds my creative side. But as a showrunner, that's boots on the ground, girl. That's I'm taking off my hoop earrings and I'm putting my flats on. I have my wedges for when I'm done, but I am putting my flats on and I get in there and I get into all the details from set design to what colors we're using to the cast. So it's a little bit, not a little bit, it's a lot more in depth. It's a lot more part of the creative process from when it started to when you guys see it on air. And I'm able to show run a lot of our shows, especially Last One Laughing, which has been my baby since season 2. And Mexico just aired season 7, and I think Argentina and Colombia are coming soon. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy being a showrunner. Often, I don't often have the time to be a showrunner just because of how many details and how many things you have to be part of. But being an executive producer, I still have a voice, and I'm still part of that creative process. So I'm really grateful that here at Banijay, I'm able to do both and
Love that.
still be a girl boss and still be a wife,
Yes,
sister, and a
abs-
friend, and all that good stuff.
I love that. Now you're a Latina. I have to bring this up. In a male-dominated industry.
Oh yes,
And,
girl, it is.
and I've heard you say it. And it's been some time, and I'm sure that you've had countless hurdles. You've been very vocal about your desire to support other Latinas, and you're empowering us. I won't say them, I'll say us, by extending opportunities that not, that maybe they don't necessarily would get,
Yeah.
as we know. So our community can be guilty, I think, of operating from a scarcity mindset. It's apparent that you don't because you give opportunities. Obviously, it has to be earned. But I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on our culture? Because as Latinos, I think it's rampant, but I have to ask, what are your thoughts about the culture that feeds into competition over collaboration? And I have a feeling you have some thoughts.
Well, I think it's crazy that it's still 2025 and we're having this conversation,
Yeah.
and that we're still trying to have that seat at the table and break those glass ceilings and all those things. I find myself having to remind Marie that I also do belong in those rooms sometimes. And I know that I advocate that to everyone who listens, and to my teams and to all the females I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by. But you know, it's one of those things where until we continue to fight and until we don't take no for an answer, it's not going to stop. Unfortunately, it's our culture, right? It's our culture que el hombre es el hombre de la casa. And it's like, excuse me, I make more money than you, bro.
What?
Like, excuse me. Those stereotypes are slowly starting to dissolve, but it's real slow. And it's taking time to really understand that we don't have to go into these cookie cutter positions. Just like, I have these uncomfortable conversations with my friends sometimes because they're like, well, you don't have kids. And I'm like, I don't have to be the stereotype that, well, first comes marriage, then comes baby, then comes no. For me was first comes career, then came marriage, then
That's your
career.
baby.
And that's my baby. And I worked so hard to get to where I am that that's my choice. And it should not have to be, oh, well, now you're supposed to do that because that is the mold that we were shown
It's a
as children.
blueprint that we have.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with us, competing in the room with men, or even walking into a room and finding our place. It is scary. There's often like times where I'm even scared, and I've been in those positions where I lead a company and I walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, the head of this person was there and the head of this person. And then I'm sitting myself, I'm like, wait, I'm the head of Banijay Mexico and US Hispanic. Like, what am I talking about? Stop it. I kind of give myself a little internal smack in the head, and then I check myself and I come right back to it. So I think, we have to remind ourselves, and even if we know it, we have to keep reminding ourselves that we do belong there, and that it's not a competition. We're here because we belong here. We're here because we worked to be here. We are here because there's no other option. We belong here. That's it. Period. No more dots. No more
That
after.
I got to tell you, that reminder gets harder and harder these days, but I'm going to get into that for a minute.
Yeah.
So, Banijay Mexico and US Hispanic this was, it really did, I don't know, it had an impact on me. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 70% women and 30% men.
That is very correct.
I mean, you need a subsidiary in New York somewhere.
I need to start opening other bandages across the. No, I mean,
You
look,
too.
I realized working down in Latin America. Well, obviously, I know the stereotypes of the United States because I grew up there. I've been there, and I know what I'm coming up against. As I started working down in Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, and all the different territories in Latin America, I realized that down here was about 10 years behind everything in the US, right? So the how much we have evolved in the US has is still a bit behind here in Latin America. And I say here because I'm in Mexico today. I say today. Tomorrow I'll be somewhere.
You never know.
You never know. So when I walked into this territory, I noticed a lot of the women here were assistants, coordinators, oftentimes maybe managers. And I was like, well, wait a second. You're an executive in charge. Why do you have this title? Oh, well, I've never been given the opportunity. Or hey, you are the head of post. Why are you only a manager? Oh, I've never been given the opportunity. So I kept thinking to myself, there's a reason why I was given this opportunity to lead this company. So if somebody gave me that opportunity, then I should be giving this opportunity to women, and they should not have to say, apologize for having those skills. Because I also notice women being like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just, I know how to do it, but I don't, no me quiero pisar, no quiero cruzar, I don't want
They
to.
put
And
you
I'm
in a
like,
box.
cruza, do it. Don't apologize. Do it. So
I
we are 70% because I firmly believe that women deserve the opportunities to be in leadership positions, and I'm going to give them those opportunities.
well, I love it. Congratulations. You walk the talk, and I respect that.
Thank you.
And you put your actions behind the words. I think that is what makes an impact.
Thank
You're
you.
also an innovator And you, this was so awesome. You're not only producing content for television and streaming, but you are thinking ahead. You're looking for projects and ideas for content that can be strong contenders for the growing popularity on YouTube and TikTok, is what I
Correct.
heard.
Yes,
I it
absolutely.
and as a creator, I love that. I feel that. So I have, we're in unprecedented times, right? And it's obvious that you're looking forward. I mean, the fact that you're looking at content for YouTube and TikTok, which we don't know the future of that, but that's a whole different episode.
Yeah.
Um, so
Girl, it's gonna
I know. So, how are you preparing Banijay Mexico US Hispanic to move into an era that it's really uncertain right now? But how are you creating a space or continuing to create a space to empower our community? Because I think more than ever, this is going to be important for us.
yeah, we need to be united. And I feel that, it's the television itself is constantly evolving. How people are watching TV, how people are consuming content is constantly evolving. What's popular today, February 25, a year ago was completely different to 5 years ago, to 10 years ago. My job is to constantly know what is happening, what the trends are, what is evolving, what's coming up, and staying 10 steps ahead. We at Banijay Mexico and US Hispanic are always creating. And if the moment we stop creating, we have a problem, right? We are constantly creating. We are constantly taking things from the Banijay catalog and finding ways of how we can put it for broadcast or for streamers or even for the TikTok videos or for YouTube or however we can figure out a way to continue to evolve our business, but also to continue to create. Because the most gratifying thing in the world is to say, I have this idea, and then months later see it and have people
Come
watch
to
it and
life.
commented it. Even if they say bad things, I'm okay with it. You still watched it. You still watched it. They don't often say bad things, but and we create a lot of original concepts, which we've been fortunate enough to already have a couple commissioned, and we're continuing to make our robust pipeline so that we have more content to share with our buyers, with our clients, with our friends, with our partners. And I think it's just constantly not feeling comfortable. We can't feel comfortable. And I always say this to women who ask me, like, don't feel comfortable. The moment you feel comfortable, then you need to start challenging yourself. Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I love that. And that is 100% true. I think we get settled in our ways. We get, like you said, comfortable in this zone and we stop growing. And I think once we stop growing, there nothing it's almost like, when you have a plant, I don't have a green thumb. And and it starts, like losing its color, its leaves. And that can really happen to a human being if
Exactly.
you don't and I that's what I think of when I think of, the idea of getting comfortable. And I get it. Some people are completely okay with that, but
Yeah.
that does hinder growth, in my opinion. So
100%.
I'm glad you shared that. Now, you've accomplished so much. You continue to grow your brand and your dreams because I used to think, oh, I have this one dream, but it's not one. I have
Yeah.
many dreams. And the bigger I dream, it's like, okay, what's the next thing? Which it can be good or bad. But what is your best advice for those that are feeling maybe right now, because we're in this like weird place as a country? What's your best advice for anyone feeling discouraged or weary as they try to build their dream and they're hearing, well, it's too hard. It's never gonna happen. You're that's a pipe dream. What
Yeah.
can you share?
To not listen. Don't listen.
Woo!
Listen to your mind, listen to yourself, listen to your gut. Your gut is your best friend. But I will tell you that I think the most important thing to always remember is to always dream. And it's also okay to pivot. I feel like at times we get scared where I was like, but that was my goal and I didn't hit my goal. That's cool. Just because I didn't hit this goal doesn't mean that I'm not moving toward this other goal that came from this original dream, but I made it this. My original dream was to be a singer. I'm not a singer, but I'm the
But you
happiest.
have La Voz, though.
Thank you, girl. But it's okay. I mean, my dream was to be a singer. I'm not a singer. I run a company and I get to do these wonderful things that make me so happy. See, it wasn't my original dream, but now I dream something else. I pivoted. That's also okay.
Mm.
Don't be scared to pivot. Don't be scared to say, well, don't be disappointed and don't be so hard on yourself, guys. Like, we're always
Give
so
yourself
scared of, like,
grace.
I failed. I should have done this. I should have done that. Also, take a moment to think about and to reflect on the things that you have done. Because we often, like, just you, like what you said before, you were like, and you did this and you did this. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
girl, I did it. I did.
Yeah. And that's why I do that introduction because every single guest that has come on has said, "Wow, I didn't even
I did.
realize like it's
Yeah.
like a blur." But and I do the same thing in my life. I'm like, "Oh, wow, I look at my bio. Did I do that? I
Like,
did
okay.
that. Wow, okay,
And I look good doing it. Oh my God. But yeah, we don't take enough time to appreciate what we've done. We don't take enough time to love ourselves as much as we should love ourselves and to say, yeah, girl, you did do it. And wow, that's a great accomplishment. Okay, maybe you didn't do this, but what you did was great.
Absolutely. I love that. So one of the things I love to do during the end of interviews, I like to surprise our guests. I
Oh
have
God.
these, yes. So I've never read the questions, but I'm gonna pick a question and if you're okay with it, ask.
Of course, go for it.
Awesome. Ooh, this is a good one. How would you like to be remembered after all is said and done?
I would love to be remembered as somebody who came to this world, who was giving contagious energy and empowered the next generation of female leaders.
Well, you're doing that, and I am so grateful to be in your presence. It's virtual, but it'll be in person
It'll be in
someday.
person. I'm already inviting you. We're gonna go get a slice of pizza, Yankee Pizza, off of 2
No, no,
Westchester
no,
Avenue.
no, no, you have to come uptown to get pizza because that
All
does
right,
have the
okay. We
best
can we
pizza.
can have that discussion offline. I was born in France. I'm never gonna agree.
We gotta pull out best pizza.
Best pizza,
Um,
I'm down.
Marie, you're amazing. Thank you so much. For anyone who wants to learn about you or Banijay, and I would say, you know, there's a lot of opportunities there for women. Can you please share how can we learn more about you, Banijay?
Absolutely. We have our website, banijaymexico.us. That is our website that shows most of our projects, a lot of our leadership team, the people that are part of my team, which I fully support. And I ask for you guys to support as well because I don't do this alone. All of my accolades are with my team and all of my acknowledgments and all reconocimientos and everything that I get is because I have the most amazing team and the best amazing people around me. And for me, it's at Marie Legs on Instagram. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support. I had such a good time. And yes, we'll go have
Oh,
the pizza, but we're gonna have to add a glass of wine too. So I'm just saying.
a glass, girl, what? It'll be more than a glass.
Okay, we'll
You,
talk offline.
yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
loves, for joining us on this episode of AW Confidential. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.